high expectations. So,
Ms.
hold on one second. Let me see if Tanisha sent me.
So hello, welcome to the festivities.
Thank you. Good to see you.
You're welcome. So everyone is here. This is going to be the group. Miss Parks is currently on mute and off video, but she'll be popping back on in just a moment. She's checking for maybe a last minute entry. I don't know if you had an opportunity to take a look at the videos as yet. And I don't know if you had a chance to do any scoring. So we did. Today is actually the last. I was explaining to my peer, Roy Hinson, that today is actually the last day of school for Broward County Schools. But because we're doing this video, and because the earnings and the winnings will be transmitted digitally using email, we didn't have to rush it to fit it in last week if we were able to give the kids at least one more weekend to really work on their presentations. There have been some, obviously, challenges with this whole situation. So it's not the way that it normally runs, but these kids have worked really hard on it. I don't know if I could have done this when I was in middle school, if somebody told me you don't have to come to school for the last 2 months, but we still want you to do the work. So we can go through and watch the videos really quick. I don't know if you had a chance to score as yet.
I watched the videos. I didn't score because I wasn't sure if that was the full, if the video was the full presentation, or because some of the booth display and things like that, I wasn't totally sure.
Correct. So Ms. Sparks, traditionally, and this is one of those things that we've been trying to balance and adjust to. The traditional way is with a whole booth board and a whole presentation, but because we had to go digital, the same flow was not available. So the rubrics has remained the same. We didn't change the rubric, but the rubric may not fully reflect everything that we're doing in the digital space. So just like I told Roy, we're really trying to see, do they have great understanding and mastery of the concept that they're proposing? So the ability to articulate a problem, a solution, and how their particular solution may solve the problem that they're proposing to address. And then just their command of the data and the statistics in the presentation. So more or less, we're kind of grading on a curve, for lack of a better term, but we are doing that looking at, did they have an understanding of what they were doing when they were going through the program in order to get to this particular point. Ms. Parks, is there anything you would like to add?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to each of you for agreeing to come on and observe and judge our students. I just wanted to also add, and I'm sure you all understand with what's going on, the dynamics of a middle school group, and our particular group of students, the dynamics of this culture of kids, this environment of kids. It's very difficult for transition. They don't transition well, to changing paradigms and changing environments. But with that being said, they have done pretty good for the most part. And so normally, Ms. Deidre and Roy, we would have more participation, because participation is required in my class, and it's actually worth 50% of the annual grade. So it really determines what your grade will be at the end of the year. So I had to relax that a little bit, of course, because we are now home, and I do understand that our kids are used to having this one-on-one relationship and interaction with me or their teachers, and so they had to shift and transition a lot, and for most, it has not been successful. So the kids that we're going to see today, they actually did it pretty successfully, despite the presentment. And so again, I just wanted to say, thank you. Daniel has known me for a couple of years now. He knows I'm pretty tough on my kids, only because I try to prepare them for what's coming in the future. It's not an easy task, but so I'm not saying to be easy on them, but just kind of understand the dynamics of the kids. So again, I say thank you.
And everyone is familiar with me. I'm Daniel Williams. I'm with the NIFTY program, and we actually support the work that Kim does and all of the teachers here in Broward County are doing. But I'll give you both a chance to introduce yourselves and just a quick blurb of who you are for everyone else in the room who may not be familiar. Deidre, ladies first.
Thank you. I'm Deirdre Boone. My company is called Good Cause Consulting, and I am a consultant for nonprofit organizations. I help a variety of nonprofits do fundraising. So I write grants. I've worked and other appeals, emails, online appeals to help them get philanthropic support and individual support for their programs. And I have been working with NIFTY. It will be 10 years this November that I've been working with NIFTY, writing grants and a variety of other support for the development team. So I was actually happy to be involved in one of the first iterations of Startup Tech, and it has been one of my very favorite programs since that point in probably 2013. So I'm really excited. This is actually the first time I'm getting to see a startup showcase. So this is great. So thank you for including me.
Yeah, absolutely welcome. And Mr. Henson.
My name is Roy Henson. I am the founder of AllNets Inc. We are a nonprofit working with students and putting together mentoring programs for youth currently in the areas of Boynton Beach as well as Belglade and Palm Beach County. We are in the process of because of COVID, our pilot program was kind of taken away. So we are in the process of turning the whole program into a virtual program. So we're developing an app and kind of going through the process to hopefully by the end of this summer have an option where the kids can, instead of having, I don't see really after school programs being around next year. So we're going to hopefully have a virtual after school program where we'll have content based around STEM, banking, and have tutors on the ready to be able to help the kids at home one-on-one, just the way they would have if they were in those school-based programs. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what I'm working on right now, and hopefully be able to spin it off to be able to help other nonprofits be able to facilitate those same type of events with their organizations as well.
Awesome. We won't spend too much time. I had this on the calendar for 2 hours. We're not going to keep you here for 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and start viewing the first video. And, everyone should have the scoring rubric if you want to just make any notes as we're going through. And if we have any questions at the end of this all, we should be able to crown a winner. Final notes, and then we'll call it an afternoon. So without any further ado, we'll start with Hello Inspiration.
No volume, Daniel.
Pardon me?
No volume.
Yeah, no
I'm sorry.
You can't hear?
Nah.
No.
One moment. Let's see if this does it. We had that problem the last time.
Yes, we did.
Yes? No?
Yeah, we get it.
All right, so we're gonna start her over.
No.
No?
Excuse me.
Let's see. trying to think of what did we do to fix it the last time.
Did we have to click on the microphone and change selection for the microphone?
That's what I'm
Or the
doing.
speaker, should I say? Did we do that?
Yes. Let's see. Speaker headphones.
And while you're doing that, just as a plan B, if you want to go ahead and send to Ms. Deirdre and Mr. Roy the email with the links.
They have them both.
Oh,
They
okay.
do have them. So if that's what it comes to, it may be possible to do that. Trying to see.
Should I just mute myself and watch it real quick on my own machine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We may have to do that. Mm-hmm. And then the judges rubric. And just so you'll know, I know we do have a judges rubric, but the requirements from the class was they are to dress. Well, if we were face to face, it would be in professional attire. I did relax it a little bit, but it should have been in casual dress attire. They were encouraged to speak loudly so that you can hear, project their voice, and so that they had some basic general public speaking, you know, some nuances that they were supposed to utilize as well, just so you'll know that. So the absence of that was not what they were supposed to do. Alrighty, and so I'll let you all take a minute with that. I'm gonna go ahead and mute Daniel. And Daniel, I'm going to step away. I'm going to mute for a moment and go get another computer up and going. I do have a 12 o'clock that I need to get onto, okay?
Are we just going on to the next one?
You're on mute, Daniel.
Let's try that again. I muted myself when I put these on. We're going to go on to the next one, which is, bear with me half a second.
Can I ask a question before we do that real quick?
Sure.
For the items on the rubric that don't really apply, like booth display or for this one, app design, since that's not something that was addressed, should I leave those blank or just how should I address that? I don't want to mess up the scoring.
No problem. For booth display, I am doing it based on if I'm taking their presentation. So not the presentation, but how they kind of come across on the screen, right?
Got it.
Do they look like they were prepared for this particular moment? For the app design, some of them have, one of them I know for a fact does show his back screen and his front screens. So he gets credit for that. For the others, I'm not giving them a 0. It's difficult to give them a 3 or 4, but I want to give them some kind of consideration for the fact that this is happening in a virtual environment.
Okay, great, perfect. Thank you for the guidance.
Absolutely. The next one I have up is Stop Ozone Depletion, Mr. Jelani Johnson. I'm going to share it to my screen, but for obvious reasons, we've been having issues. Let's see if it works now. All right, so that was Mr. Jelani. For stop ozone depletion. Were you able to hear him? No?
No, but I had watched that one
All right.
before, so.
All
I thought it was me.
right.
I was going in and out to try to hear. I love that video. He did a great job.
Yeah, it was great.
The next one I have queued up is study chat, but I'll give you a second to kind of consider everything.
Daniel, I logged off of one computer onto another. Who have we watched so far?
We have watched Stopping Ozone Depletion and Hello Inspiration.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And up in queue is study chat, followed by Sahira.
Sahira.
Sahira. All right. So feel free to give me a thumbs up when you are done rating and making any notes.
All right, and while we're waiting, Daniel, I just want to go ahead and extend again my appreciation to the both of you. Because I have a 12 o'clock appointment, it's a video appointment, I'm gonna have to leave prior to you finishing, of course. But I just wanted to say thank you, I'm so grateful. We do need the support. Daniel knows I'm not a moaner or a groaner, I don't complain, but one thing I do complain about is not having all of the support that I think that our kids need to have. And so it's just wonderful that you guys said yes, and I do appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to your choices. Ms. Deirdre, we definitely need to talk, if you don't mind. May I get your number from Daniel?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
There's some things I'd definitely like to just talk to you about. Roy, you too. I'll be in touch with Daniel. I have some guys that you probably need to get a hold of over the course of the year. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, okay? So if you see me, that's where I went.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. And feel free to give me, yeah. If you're ready, we'll move on to the next video. And because this is being recorded, the audio should come out on the final video, even if it's not, for whatever reason, transmitting to those of us that are watching. It would probably help if I shared screen. So it seems that one wasn't the complete video. Miss Parks, I don't know if
No, Tyrese, the one with the white shirt, he's not, he was E1. He's not one. Did I send you that?
no, it queues up as the next video.
Really?
But I think it's just YouTube's thing, not our thing.
Oh, okay. Yes, no. Tyrese is not a part of that. He was a part of E1. Isabella is, you saw the others already, I think. Yeah.
Right. But Isabella's video, that was the whole complete video. She didn't have anything out. So she did basically a
Pitch, elevator pitch.
right,
Okay.
more or less.
Well,
More or less.
on a competition, you have to follow instructions, right? And I'm sorry about that because they have a great product as well. They have a great service that they.
Oh, definitely. It's actually something I'm kind of implementing into my own the app I'm building right now.
Right.
I'm actually building that exact thing right now.
Right. And the thing is, we do tell them just because you don't win a competition, that does not mean that judges may not be able to use or contribute. You know, it's still useful because it's still an issue that they're addressing.
No,
Exactly.
definitely.
Mhm.
She was doing strong. She just didn't necessarily hit all the.
Yeah, it's getting their head around the whole point, the point of competition, you know, and having to follow very specific instructions. They're still in the mindset of I can do it like I want, you know.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's not the case because I've done
It's
my
not the
fair
case.
share of pitch competitions.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're so
Yeah.
nitpicky.
Tedious. Yeah, tedious. You got to follow the instructions. And we on this from the beginning of the year, as Dan, you know, from week one. I mean, from week one of school, they're working up to this point. And so I know we have to give them a little leeway, but you still have to follow instructions.
Yeah.
So was that 3 or 4 that we saw so far, Dan?
That was
I think
3.
so here is the last one.
And then the last
Yeah,
one is
one more?
coming up. Yes.
Okay. All right. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and take my leave. I'm excited to hear about who you guys think will win. I always have my favorites, so I never judge. But I am grateful for the choices. It's a great learning experience. Like we said, follow the instructions, selling yourself, pitching your ideas, and selling it as well. So to whomever wins, they're all winners to me, but I just, again, I'm grateful. So thank you again. And I'll be talking to you both hopefully very soon. Thanks. And
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
my pleasure.
So, and then there were 3. We're down to the last group. So I'm going to set everything up. I will give a few more moments if you need to kind of finish with the judging portion of things.
Sorry, I'm old school, so I'm slow. I was writing my notes and now I'm just typing them in. So
No problem. No problem.
You can go ahead with the last video and I can catch up because I've seen it already. So
all right.
thank you.
And we're well ahead of
2
time,
hours.
so it's not. Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was bringing 4 or 20. It could have gone either way.
Right.
So. This is honestly not a rush. This is probably the easiest part.
Yeah, so don't feel like you have to wait on me because I'm caught up.
No problem. I'm going to share the screen.
Thank you.
And let me cue the video.
Oh wait, hold on. Where did Miss Parks come from?
All right. That was it. Those are the four
That's great.
competitors.
They're impressive.
Yeah, he had so many figures. I was like, about all this.
He was very, they were very, he was very thorough. His team was very
Yeah.
thorough.
Yeah, I actually sent that one off to my girlfriend. She's in medicine, and I'm like, look at this. I'm like, if the kid can start a business and actually has all this, you can too. It's wild. He did an amazing job.
So, I'm going to take a 20 seconds once everyone has submitted, and we'll be able to actually review the scores in real time.
I think I accidentally did sod twice.
That's all right. We can probably pull them out.
I might have done study chat twice. So.
Yes. At least I'm not the only one, yes.
All right, I just have one more to enter. I'll be really quick.
No problem.
Problem.
You did do sod twice. Which score do you want to keep? Or the first time or the second time?
The second one I like better. Yeah.
All right. Get rid of the first row. I'll just format this really quick.
Is that mine? Sorry, the church service starts after the after his video on YouTube.
Oh. Well then, amen.
Okay.
So let me throw together this sum. Add all of this up. Drag that. Oh, interesting. I don't see my score for Sahira. Make sure that I actually submitted that. Well, that doesn't make sense. We have 12 responses, 4 businesses. Bear with me a moment. Apparently, I'm the person slowing everything down. Don't judge me, Roy.
I'm still impressed with how much work they all did, given that it was self-directed. I have a 4th grader and a 2nd grader, and it's been a lot less self-directed than these kids appear to have been. So that's
Well, I will
impressive.
say, Miss Parks does set a very high standard for them, and she does push them. She really does push them, and so I think it's 2 things. It is that they have high expectations, but also she pushes them, but then she also supports them, and I
Yeah,
think she does get really great results out of that.
it's great.
I didn't do my judges notes.
So Roy, when did you found your nonprofit? And what did you say the name was? I think I wrote All Nights. Is that right?
All nets.
Yeah.
All,
Yeah. So we started it we were founded in 2018, October 2018. And so we're going on our 2nd year. We got our first grant. It was paid out actually March 25th of this year. And so we're kind of sitting on our funds because it was actually supposed to be for a basketball clinic. And yeah, so we've talked to our grantee, and we're actually reallocating those funds, part of those funds, to be able to do a to the app. And then now we're actually working on hopefully turning the basketball clinic, because we've actually received about 120 basketballs, and I have about 500 backpacks that we're planning on giving out. And so what we're going to do is end up doing kind of like work on some shooting drills on like a spread out in a park setting, on an outdoor setting, as opposed to in a gym like we originally wanted to. And then also hopefully have it as a way to sign up the kids into our app, our app ecosystem, so that once school starts, we can kind of keep track and hopefully help them along the way as through the school year. And I think the challenge, especially in Belle Glade, is there's not a lot of internet access out there. So these kids haven't even they have computers at home and can't even connect to the internet. And so that's the big issue. Like, there's been word that Comcast is moving out there, but as of right now, like, they have like a satellite internet provider, and it's very expensive. It's almost pretty much like paying for your cell phone's internet. It's about that cost structure. It's like 40, you pay by the gigabyte. Like, it's extremely expensive, and most of those families can't afford it, unfortunately.
yeah, that's one thing that I think I've been glad to see lots of organizations and schools really reaching out with technology, but that's a big obstacle to overcome. If you just don't have a fiber optic network or whatever, like that access is really tough. Because even if you do hotspots, that's super expensive, and they're not, the quality is not great. So
yeah. No, exactly, and that's kind of what we've been kind of getting over. Even the kids here at Boynton, I coach basketball there, so I'm very close with a lot of those players. And one of them reached out to me, and I had the coach that's actually the head coach actually look into the saying like, yeah, we need some help with our grades. And you looked at grades, half the kids have straight F's. One of the kids, the one kid who asked me for help, I gave him one of my old laptops because he said the laptop that they gave him was broken and hasn't been able to do his work. So I gave him a laptop. He's pulled all his grades up to B's. He has 4 B's now. He went from 7 F's to 4 B's, a C, a D, and an F. And a D and an F are because the teachers aren't emailing him back and letting him know how he can make things up. And I told him, I'm like, okay, so next step, we're gonna email the counselor. He's like, I don't know who my counselor is. And I'm like, next step that we can email the principal and tell him to get you in contact with you. And so I'm teaching him how to go through the flow. But he's the only one out of 50 kids on the basketball team to kind of who doesn't have it. So hopefully through this summer, we're about to launch a laptop drive. I've already have about like 4 or 5 already been donated so far, and I haven't even formally introduced it yet. So that's going to be the project over the summer, and hopefully be able to bring those into the students' homes that didn't get a laptop originally.
Wow. It's good. I hope that the grant lets you I think you said you can reallocate some of the funds. That's one good thing. The funders are being flexible with that. I hope that
No,
continues.
they really have. They've been really great about it, and we're probably going to be adding on some more programming out that way, just to kind of be able to give the kids a place with internet where they can do their work. It's just trying to figure out. It's not a big space, so trying to figure out our capacity and all those types of things with the I think it's Federation of Families who we were working with, who were giving us the access to the space. And so just trying to figure out how we can facilitate that to help the kids in that area of the community.
Good luck. That's great work.
Thanks.
So I'm going to share the screen, and since this doesn't require audio, this will work. And then y'all tell me if that sounds about right. So the great thing about using forms is it drops all the data into a spreadsheet and updates as we go. And it's really just a matter of throwing a couple of formulas in to finalize the numbers. So what I have here is stop ozone depletion with a grand score of 52, followed by Sahara at 46, Hello Inspiration at 41, and Study Chat at 39. Does everyone here feel that this was the right order of
Yeah,
how we felt they did?
yeah, no, I definitely think so. I think Saw definitely hit all the boxes that he could,
Right.
and I think that's why he won essentially.
And I think there were some that had some great
Oh no,
concepts, but we just
yeah,
weren't able to see them fully realize the full vision in the scope of this particular what this competition was looking for.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
All right,
I
so
agree. I think that's great.
all right. So we're all in agreement that as the numbers show it, Saad looked like they did the best job across the board of really encompassing all of the aspects of what we were looking for in this competition. Beautiful. That's it. Miss Boone, I am going to, once this renders, I will send you a copy of the video if you would like, or do you want me to just take a couple of screenshots from it and forward those over?
The copy's great. The video, whatever's easier for you is fine. I definitely won't submit a full copy of the video for a grant, but some screenshots, but I'm happy to do that when the time comes. So whatever's quickest for you is fine.
I could do either or. I'm sitting in front of the computer for the day, so I can probably take a couple of shots of us, a couple of shots of the judging process, a few shots of each of the kids as they went through their presentation, and then that will be enough to probably craft a relatively clean narrative of the process. And then hopefully we can get back to some sense of normalcy by the time this comes around for next year. I do want to thank you both very much for being a part of this. Roy jumped in last minute. I meant to hit you up on Sunday. Did I hit you Sunday or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So I meant to hit you Sunday. So I appreciate it. And Ms. Boone, I know we've been going back and forth trying to get to this very moment in time. We have gotten there. I do appreciate you both. If you need me, you both have my email. And I will go ahead and pass both of your information on to Ms. Parks as well. So have an amazing afternoon. I appreciate you both for your time, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Dan.
All right,
Thank
have
you
a
for
great one,
making this
guys.
happen. It was great.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Roy.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Good luck.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.